I want to show you 5 books that I am planning on reading as a handmade coach and someone who is starting a pattern designer program. The first book that I want to show you is one that I've had the longest out of all of these. I've read through a little bit, but I want to read through the whole thing. And it's called The Entrepreneur's Guide to the Art of War. It's got a fun little gold cover here, and it's by Mark Smith. I actually picked this book up when I was at Books A Million, like I don't know, a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago at this point. And it was during the phase of I was trying to start a photography business. I was just kind of feeling burned out and not really sure what to do. And I just knew that I've always gone towards, being an entrepreneur and starting my own business. So I'm like, I don't know, I guess I'll buy this book because it's kind of accurate to like what I want to do and maybe I'll learn something from it. And, it's The Art of War, which is really cool. And I haven't really read it. Again, I've read a little bit. I don't know, let's see. I've read up to page 17, but I want to actually sit down and properly read this now that I am doing a lot of reading at the moment. I've never been a huge reader when it's come to fiction books, but I do really like nonfiction books, and right now I've been in a little bit of a role of actually reading books, so I want to take advantage of that and start learning from more of the books on my shelf. So this one's going to be next on the list, and it's basically taking the art of war and looking at it from a more business perspective, a entrepreneurial perspective for growing your business, standing out in the market, all of that, which I think is really interesting. I think The Art of War is fantastic. I've never read the actual thing like fully myself, but I've heard a lot of quotes from it. I've seen a lot of things with it, and I just think this is a fun take on it, especially because like business and war, I feel like have a lot of overlap, where it really does come down to the strategy and a lot of mindset behind it. So the next book that I want to show you is called Wishcraft, and it's called How to Get What You Really Want. And the whole book is about, taking where you're at now and being able to figure out how to get to where you actually want to be. From the back of the book, I don't know too much about it because this was actually a recommendation that I got from one of my handmade members, and I was like, okay, I'm just going to buy the book because why not? I'm into reading right now. So I got it based off of her recommendation. But the whole idea is like basically taking your fears and the negative feelings that you have and actually turning them into positive tools to get what you want. I think it's probably has a lot of mindset exercises there. And I think it's really important too that it also like values the concept of like doing what you actually want to do and not just like sticking with an easy job or a job that's stable, but actually like this is what I want to do and this is how you get there. I feel very strongly that when it comes to, what you do for your work is really important, and something that actually feeds you and like what you love and what drives you is insanely important. And I think that more people should talk about the fact that like you don't have to just settle for a job, but that you can actually like pick a job that fits what speaks to you in life. And I think that's just really powerful. So I'm really excited about this book. I heard really good things from the member who recommended it, so I'll get to reading that one soon. It won't be next on the list just yet. The actual one that is next on the list is this book, which I saw recommended on Reddit, I think it was, when I was looking at books for like guides to perfectionism or something like that. And it's called The Perfectionist's Guide to Losing Control. This is one, again, I just saw on Reddit. I don't know anyone who's actually read it themselves, but it sounded really good. A lot of people gave it high remarks, and I feel like the best thing about this book is that as a perfectionist, the title should make you scared, and this makes me scared. I don't want to lose control necessarily, but I think that being able to come to terms with the fact that you can't control everything and you just need to get started is insanely valuable. It's something that definitely holds me back often, feeling like I need to have all of the details figured out ahead of time. And with this pattern project and documenting the whole journey, I've been trying really hard to like not let that get to me and just keep moving forward, because the best way to learn is just by doing. But it's hard because like in my brain, I want to be able to spend much longer. I want to be able to figure out all the fine little details. But I also know at the same time that it's not going to get me to where I want to go. So I'm really curious about reading this one and, learning about losing control as a perfectionist. I think it'll be really interesting. And I would actually like to do a video once I finish this book giving my thoughts on it, because I just think that would be really helpful, especially for people who are in creative businesses, giving it like that perspective of like, perfectionism in creative businesses, which I know that there is a lot of. I mean, I came from a creative handmade business and I work with a lot of handmade sellers now. I'm going to be working with pattern designers, and pretty much in every single one of those cases, there's a lot of perfectionism. I had a lot of perfectionism when I had my business. I see a lot of perfectionism in the members that I coach, and I know already that there is a lot of perfectionism in the designers that I'm going to be working with. So I feel like having a better grasp on how to get through perfectionism, I think would be really valuable for what I'm planning on doing. So I'm super excited about that. The next one, I've had this book for a little bit. I've read, I don't know, like a fifth of the book. I took it out for a day walk once and I read a whole bunch, and then I didn't pick it up again after that. Story of my life, pretty much, I feel like, with books. But I would like to actually finish it, and it's called Day Trading Attention by Gary Vee. I really like Gary Vee a lot. I have another video that I recorded on him just kind of giving a thank you, because he talks a lot about social media, especially as the main place to be when it comes to advertising and marketing your business. And pretty much most of my life, I've been advertising businesses and things that I've done on social media. I work with people now to build up their businesses on social media, and it is a huge, huge tool. It's a massive tool because everyone's eyes are on it. And so this book talks about social media and actually using social media to make sales and build your brand and all of that, because it is the place that everyone's eyes are right now. I love Gary Vee. I think he's got great advice. He really connects to like what I believe works on social media, which is, showing up as yourself, being consistent, and, just doing it, not worrying if it's perfect, just taking the action. So I really want to finish this book. I read through a little bit and I really enjoyed it, but I would like to read through more, especially since, social media is the direction that I want to go into. And he's like kind of the social media guru out there. So I want to be able to read this more, but love Gary Vee. I think he's great. He's really helped me on my mindset when it's come to approaching new projects and stuff like that, and was the whole inspiration behind even making this channel here. So that's awesome. The next book that I want to show you is the one that I literally just got a couple days ago when I went to Books A Million again. I love Books A Million. The only places that I go when I go into a mall is the bookstore, and if they have like a hot topic. Like those are the two places I usually go in a mall. The bookstore is the main place though. Like that is where I want to hang out. That's where I want to spend 2 hours just looking around at books, because there's so many cool things. And I found this one by surfing through the shelves. It took a while. It took almost until the end of being there until I actually found it, when I was trying to purposely look for business books. And it's the Copywriter's Handbook, which I don't know if you can actually see that well, but it's the Copywriter's Handbook, and I am really excited about this. I love marketing. I have done mostly social media marketing, and I haven't done a lot of copywriting in my marketing. I don't really know a lot about copywriting. I don't really understand. I understand the point of it. It's to be persuasive. It's to talk in your audience's voice. It's to, hit pain points and struggles and things like that, all to then sell a product. But I don't really know how to do it very well. I don't understand the framework of copywriting. I don't understand really what you're trying to accomplish there, and what different parts of copywriting are, and even just where to start with it. So I got this book because this is basically exactly what I've been looking for, is some sort of copywriting handbook, and they have one. So that's awesome. I'm really excited to start reading through this. This is probably going to take a little bit to get to, since I have the Perfectionist book. That is the next one I'm reading. But after that, I think I will be going through the Copywriter's Handbook. Really, my intention when I read this book is to not take it as this is the only way you can ever do copywriting. This is the only thing that you can ever do. You have to do it this specific way. Like, I don't want to use it as a way like these are the hard and fast rules and you cannot break them, because I don't think that's interesting. And I think that when it comes to copywriting, developing your own voice is important, and also developing your own style is really important. So I really want to use this book as a way to just understand the foundations of copywriting and like how other people approach it, so that I can start getting more familiar and I can start developing my own voice and what I want to do in copywriting. Because, I've seen copy before that's very like not what I would want to do. Essentially. And I feel like it would be really interesting to learn those foundations so that I can start developing my own voice, because I think that would be super valuable. And pretty much like every business ultimately should develop their voice. I don't think every business needs to start off with like learning about copywriting or anything like that. But I think it is a helpful thing to do, because from what I understand too, when you learn copywriting, you're more aware of the fears, struggles, and, person behind your audience. You're more aware of like what they want and, what they're struggling with and how you can help them, because with copywriting, you need to understand those things. And so not only does it help you develop a voice, but it also helps you develop a better understanding of your target customer, which I think is really interesting as well. I think this will be a really awesome book. It's chunky. So that one will probably take a while, especially since it will be not only just reading the book, but probably doing exercises and taking notes the entire time, because I am a tryhard, and pretty much any time that I read a book, I want to take notes on it. And anytime I read a book, it's also a nonfiction book, which requires me to think. And I love it, but it takes me time. So this one's going to take a while to get through. I'm excited to get to it when I do, after the Perfectionism book. But yeah, those are the 5 books that I'm like really excited about right now, and that are on my like to read list that has been slowly developing as I've been gaining more books. So I'm really excited about those. I'd love to know if you have any suggestions of books that you would recommend to read. The books that I tend to look for are business books that focus on mindset. That's a really big one. I like productivity books as well. I really want to read more business books around like systems and stuff like that as well. I think that would be really interesting. I have Traction, which I need to finish. That's another one I read part of the way through and then didn't finish, but I have Traction, and that one's been a really cool one because that's like a systems book. Here's how to set up a system for your business operations. I think that's really interesting. Anything on social media marketing I think is also fun, though I don't know if I trust anyone outside of Gary Vee, I'll be honest with you, but I would be open to changing my mind with that. But yeah, if you have any suggestions of cool business books that you feel like have made a big difference for you, definitely leave them in the comments below. I will probably make more videos in the future showing off more of the books that I have, because I have a lot more. These are just the ones that I'm like, okay, these are really cool, I'm excited, and I will be reading them soon. So yeah, that's going to be it for this video. I really appreciate you watching this, and if you did like this video, make sure to like and subscribe, because I would appreciate that even more. I just appreciate anyone who's supporting me on this channel as I am going on this journey of helping handmade sellers and pattern designers. So yeah, I appreciate you very much, and this is going to be the end, so bye!